friend of Art's for 60 years. I had the privilege of knowing him and having fun with him for that long. He's also known as the Dude, and some of you are probably going, wait a minute, Bob Erdall's the Dude. But we love that name, and we adopted that for Art. So through high school and college, some guys was going, hey dude, how are you? My first encounter with Art was in Little League Baseball. We played on an opposing team. The guy was a beast, almost adult height and very strong. On top of the pitching mound, he looked even bigger and more intimidating. And he was scary good on top of that. He threw the ball so hard as a pitcher, if you got hit, you cried. One game, Art did not have his best stuff, and he hit the first two batters. And then the next batter would tiptoe into the box, not wanting to really face him. Parents of the other team complained to his coach to take him out of the game, but the coach responded, "Don't worry, he will work out of it." His coach was his dad, Art Sr. Here are some actual quotes that I dug from the Edina Courier back in the 60s. One, Jack and Jill wins. Art Erdall smacked a second inning homer for the winners. Another one, Jack and Jill took a 4-1 win over Harold Chev on the work of Art Erdall. He clubbed a home run and pitched a four-hitter. Third one, Jack and Jill beat Olsen Brothers Drug 4-2. Art Erdall belted 2 more home runs and knocked in all 4 runs. So there's a common theme with the Jack and Jill team. High school was fun with Art in many respects, only to be highlighted by our baseball team winning the state tournament. I pitched the final out, and Art played left field, and he caught the ball. Art kept that game ball, and as years went on, I suggested he might share that ball with me. He would always give me a sarcastic yet charming look and say, "No way." As college took place, Art enjoyed Montana, and I attended St. Cloud State, but we always kept in touch. After college, Art and I moved into a house in Burnsville, which we shared with Don Larson, Bill Terry, and Mike Vaughn. Everyone contributed stuff to the house, and Art's contribution was pigeons. Yes, pigeons. He had these roller pigeons, and he put them in a coop in the backyard. And actually, they were pretty fun to watch. When Art married Janet, I had the privilege of being in the wedding party. I had no idea when Art married Janet that she was related to a very large family, and wow, did they know how to celebrate a party. These people are also a large part of Hawkeye Nation, and when Iowa played the Gophers, get ready. They came in town, guns a-blazing, and Art was left as a lone Gopher fan. I think Art said that. If by chance the Gophers would win and beat NASCAR host the weekend, he'd look at me great. A big smirk on his face because he loved it. Art and I shared many fishing and hunting trips together, including trips to Lake of the Woods, Canada, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Iowa. Riding along in a car with Art, which we had a lot of windshield time together, was interesting because he was a stubborn Norwegian and I am a stubborn Finlander. A lot of bantering would take place. We would be driving by an old abandoned farm where the roof is sunk in, and he'd go, "Oh, look, another fine form of Finnish architecture." And that's just the way it went. He had an extreme love of wildlife and could identify virtually every bird flying or animal around. We hunted in Iowa for 40 years and had a group ordeal where if you missed an easy shot or forgot to load your gun and you had a click, we had a hat that you had to wear. It was a god-awful hat, and Katie's going to put it on the board at the end. Art got it the first night. He wore it proudly, but he knew, I will have my day with you guys. Art had an incredible charm with kids also, and was a must-to-have at birthday parties. I mean, we rented clowns or a fairy princess, but the kids were ultimately all in a circle with Art and just having fun, and their eyes were wide open. It was just really fun to see. He also took that charm and was a very successful and loved coach of youth sports, followed by girls hockey and lacrosse. Art, in later life, also loved being part of the Nitwit Golf Group at Bend Creek, and he loved to hear guys bitch and complain when he would win one of many skins that he won. He also loved sitting at the 19th hole with the guys. Art played softball, starting at 7 years old in Cub softball, and continuing into his 60s. This July, Art was inducted in the Edina Softball Hall of Fame, which is quite an honor, and he was there to get it with his family. Lastly, Art was a treasured employee of P&L Automotive. I am the L of P&L, so he worked for me. He was a driver that picked up and delivered cars, and I want you to picture a room with 10 to 15 semi-retired guys bitching about life, trying to solve every problem. Art was right in the middle of it. Art was part of the infamous group at P&L called the FOL group, Friends of Less, which meant friends of me were rumored to get extra treatment, but we know that really didn't happen. Thank you, Art, for making so many memories for me. We've had so much fun. And before I go, I'm going to call up Ray Book because he has one cute story to tell that I was going to read, but Ray experienced it. So this is another friend, Ray Book, and thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon. My one story is back in October of '75, 6 of us went up to Bunny's Bar and Grill in an afternoon. 4 of the guys got to go to the Fighting Saints hockey game, and Art and I did not. We had heard about a party that was happening in Edina. John Harris, who had just finished the PGA Tour, was coming home. His wife Jennifer decided to have a party for him. We said, we like parties. We like John Harris. Let's go. So we went to the party. We had to park about a block and a half away. And while we were walking down the street, Art looked at me and said, "It's going to be a great night." And I agreed. So we get to the front door, open the door, and there's probably about 40 women and about 6 guys. And all we did was grin. Imagine why. Perfect for us. But before we could get a word out, Art had spotted 2 girls across the room, 20 feet away, a tall brunette and a shorter blonde. And he leans over at me and says, "Which one do you want?" And before I could say anything, he goes, "I want the brunette." That was Janet Pitlick. And he's been with her ever since, 46 years. It was a good night, Art. You will be missed, my friend. Thank you.